Welcome to the Side Action Podcast, the sports gambling show that covers everything in the world of sports betting from A through Z. We'll cover the four major sports, as well as anything and everything in between worth some action, and will increase the size of your bankroll. And here we go.
All right. Well, welcome to the Side Action, episode 19 of season 6. My name is Jim Weglars, aka Wegs. You can follow me at Wegspool on Twitter and on Instagram.
And I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper, on Twitter at Mr. Grumpy Gills. As you heard my esteemed colleague mention, we are the Side Action Podcast. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Side Action Podcast, at Side Action Pod. And well, we are here. You know, Saturday is the big day. You know, have you enjoyed like your birthday week? Have you taken like a birthday week and a half kind of?
No, I'm not a woman.
No.
Women do that. Women take a birthday month.
I know it was a birthday month, yeah.
I take a birthday day with family, and then I have a party.
Okay.
And then once the party's over, nobody thinks about my birthday for another 360 or whatever, 357 days or whatever it is, the difference through the party.
Okay, gotcha. Are you looking forward to at least winning Saturday? Like you're at least going to win. Like it's rigged for you to win.
It's not rigged. Right? A lot of people call it the Wegs Always Wins party. It is not. I've got it. There's so many people coming this year. I'm not complaining. It's wonderful. It's
they're arriving.
I can't. They're arriving. I can't quite. A little newsflash, people, the listeners. I don't think I'm going to have enough gift cards for all the winners. So we're going to do it a little differently this year. There will be gift cards, as there are always. But I mean, when you have 80 people, I'm not going to buy $25 gift cards. It's already putting me in the poorhouse to do this party. So anyway, there will be gift cards, and actually foreshadows. Look at that right here.
Nice.
They're contributing two gift receipts or gift certificates that are a little more. So that may be for the big winners. So it's pretty exciting. So. And you're jumping ahead. That's in the future.
Is it the future?
What about the behind? You don't skip what happened last week. We had a good time.
We did.
We went on a Friday.
Yeah.
You know, we stayed out. We hit first Moe's Cantina, then HVAC.
Yeah.
We were getting after it out there.
That's right. That guy dropped that drink from the second story. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
That girl was pointing up there.
Oh,
like,
she
and
she was mad. Like she was hot, but like in the mad sense, not like the physical sense.
She was upset.
Yeah, she was she was barking.
Never didn't stop.
I totally forgot about that.
The girls dancing in front of us. There was some action in front of us. Side action, if you will.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, anyway,
it
was fun.
Yeah,
good time.
That was a good time.
I was a little banged up for volleyball. Did not play well. Got a little criticized.
I'm sorry to hear that,
but that's okay. I sweated out. Felt really good.
Okay.
And, I did some ice skating. That was awesome.
Nice.
Hit the skate ribbon, and that was a good time.
We saw the Lions get hosed on Saturday night. We didn't do that together, but
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That was a tough one, but either way, did you play Hamlin on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday played Hamlin. It was
the sirens.
Yeah, there it is, right on cue. Literally every time.
Well, it's so hot in here with this Rivers. They are not a sponsor yet, but the way I've been playing lately, I'm definitely
working
paying
our way
for their sponsorship at this point.
But no, Hamlin was a good time. It's always we had Commonwealth for lunch, so I'm starting to. I think I had a nice salad actually.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty fire salad. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What are you more like a Cobb salad guy?
No, I think it was like a chicken. What was it? They had their own kind of. Was it like Southwest chicken salad or something like that? But it was pretty good. Yeah, a little like
corn in there maybe.
Yeah, Southwest Ranch. I'm a big fan of Southwest Ranch. Like a little bit of spiciness, like fried pickle. Oh god, yeah,
fried pickle. Nice.
Ooh, yeah. So, but no, that was good. And then Sunday we did bowling Sunday, and then
you guys bowled.
No, it was just me on Sunday.
Okay, that was that's right. You had the bowling. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but you still did. I think you did well. I know you didn't do well enough to qualify, but you still had a good average.
Yeah, and I still cashed for not bowling anything competitively for like 4 years. I would say I held my own. So I didn't have a lot to be mad about in retrospect, but it's just disappointing not finishing. How how high we'd want to.
Win. I want to see you on the TV on the
right
ESPN 3 or whatever it is.
Me and you both. But then that was a long day because I got up at 7 and I didn't go to bed till.
Well, I played volleyball, and with Luke and those guys played much better that day actually. And then on Steph and you helped prepare the dinner. It was very nice New Year's Eve dinner.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Thank you for the muffins or whatever they were, the
lobster
fritters,
the lobster briskets. Yeah,
little fritter thing. They were really good. Prime rib, delicious. Build a base for us to go out, and then we hit Rizzo's and You know, it was fun. We had a good time. You had a great suit, the purple suit. If you haven't seen it on Instagram, check it out. This guy, he's on the 20-something page, as am I, apparently.
Oh, really?
I don't know my age. We know that's what it's called. It says 20-something.
Yeah, but we're on the front page.
I don't know.
Shit.
We're
Okay.
We're somewhere in the deck.
Okay.
I mean, Lee found it immediately.
Did he really? Okay.
Well, remember you sent the text?
Well, I thought it was Nicole. No, Nicole had said
Nicole?
that. Yeah, Nicole.
Okay.
I think Nicole had found it, and maybe Lee did some
Nicole is
investigating.
like
on top of
cyber
that.
stalking the 20-something site, and she finds our pictures, they were good pictures of us.
Yeah.
Side action, we did a new cover shot of us in my party hat. And
Yeah, we'll have to add to the Instagram page when we get done. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And then we tried to go out later, a little unsuccessful.
Yeah, you remember the grandmother we met? The 39-year-old grandmother we met?
Was hitting on you at the
Oh
bar.
my
You
God,
remember.
that was man.
I mean, I could have left you with her.
I've
She
never
was
met a
making some
woman.
headway.
I've never met a woman that kept the same volume, but just kept getting closer to my ear. So by the time she's in my ear, she's still talking at the same decibel level, and I was like, oh boy. Like,
yeah.
So
I mean, nothing says a great New Year's Eve night like sluggers at like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You could meet a lot of great ladies there. But we ended up. Sorry, Dalton. I drove him all the way to West Loop.
No, you didn't drag me.
And we took an Uber. We had a good Uber driver. He was the best, apparently.
Yeah,
He told us he was the best.
he had Waters.
Yeah, Armando.
It said he was top 30 in the country.
Top 30 in the country. Supposedly he gave us water. He didn't have a mint, but anyway, we met Madison and her friend, and they wouldn't let us in Soho House.
Yeah,
they're like, look at us, we're dressed nice. No, we're closing. So we went with these girls, and I think they were a little bit, as you say, rolling. The one girl was trying to jump out of the
Uber. Yeah.
She was opening the car door, like she was opening the handle. Thank God the guy had the child safety lock on her, because she was trying to jump out of the car while it was moving. I'm like, what is with this? Are you okay? He was like, are you going to throw up? She's like, yeah. She was like, had this demonic look on her face.
Oh boy.
And then we froze her ass off outside of Brutal 24. I know you left because you didn't have a jacket, and Madison and I finally got in after 45 minutes. So.
Oh, really?
Oh,
my gosh, 45 minutes?
Oh, we were out there a while.
Oh, my God.
And people cut in front of us. I was pissed. So then I started like pointing at the two people cut in front of us. And I'm like, we've got two. They've got three. They let us out in front of them. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
You can't outflank the side action, baby.
That's dumb. No, if anything, I was just ready to go home. I had been out for almost 24 hours.
But then you text me in the morning, do you want to go bowling? I'm like, are you serious? I mean, I went to sleep at 4:30 in the morning. I was exhausted.
Well, that wasn't even my idea. That was Steph's. We were sitting at lunch, and she's like, let's go bowling, see what Wegs is doing. And you know her tone. Like, I tried to, I'm trying to imitate her as best I can. But
and I was like sitting right over there under the blanket at what time that was. And I was like,
it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I was like, I just woke up. I woke up. Somebody called me. Billy called me at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, yikes. Woke
me up. She said, are we getting brunch today? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I thought we were getting together tomorrow after work. She's like, no, we said we were getting to brunch today. I'm like, oh God, I can rally. She's like, no, let's do it tomorrow. Great. Went right back to bed, slept till 1. Then you called, whatever, I texted. I'm like, let me just watch these games. And we'll talk in a minute. We had 2 great games. So yeah. So anyway, that's the weekend. Sorry guys, I need to really dial into our personal lives, but this is the exciting part for me.
No, that was a fun weekend. I will say that it's and we got the wolf pack now. We've established the wolf pack.
Wolf pack. Yes, it's a fist. It's really strong. All 5 fingers make a fist. Bam! You can't stop that wolf pack.
So look forward to the adventures of the wolf pack. It's going to be an interesting spring and summer, to say the least.
I mean, assuming Lee doesn't, get with Daenerys or whatever her name is, the one who looks like Daenerys.
Was it Lucy? I think it was Lucy. Yeah. And she was a treat. She was a real doll.
She's lovely.
I appreciated
she's
her.
great.
Yeah.
She's
love her accent.
She might be there Saturday. I mean, a little foreshadowing for what we're talking about.
Down under. I love
Down under.
Yeah, I love the accent. It's fantastic.
She had a great accent. So let's transition to the actual pod here. So the shed. There's somebody in the shed. You have to go first because you're putting somebody in the shed right up top in highlighted yellow, like I can't see it. And it's
Jimbo Wegs. Oh. I'm putting, unfortunately, my friend, if things would have gone different, I wouldn't put you in the shed, but the circumstances that have been put upon us, the shed does not, it doesn't have any friends. It doesn't, it's very subjective. So we're putting Jimbo Wegs in the shed this week. You did get taken to the shed because you had Jaden Reed in your fantasy matchup, and I think it was 4/10 of a point is what you got paid by.
4 yards.
You needed one more catch.
One catch or 5 yards.
Anything for him to happen. He had an amazing first half where he didn't even be there. 2 touchdowns, and then
should have started Flacco to been over.
Yeah, amazing chest injury that occurred out of nowhere.
Well, he stretched across the goal line. I mean, we'll talk in a minute, but he had a great play to score at the end of that first half, and that's when I yelled and said, "Fuck you, yeah, motherfucker, yeah." But then I checked the score and I was down by 0.4.
Oh,
and then when he was sitting there in the sideline,
and you were
he doesn't have his helmet. I'm like, no.
Yeah, the shed's a lonely place.
Oh man, it was a lonely, cold place. That
was that was right before we went out. So you did well. You handled the morale well. I appreciate that.
It's only $800. Who needs that?
Well, I agree to say because I would not handle it as well as you did. I would have probably not been in a good state of mind. Yeah. So and then we're going to transition into the Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
The Lakers are in the shed. So they are currently 17-18 on the season. They lost to the Heat again last night without Jimmy Butler, without Himmy, if you will. They're 2-8 in their last 10, and they only have 3 wins since winning the in-season tournament back on.
Did they think the mid-season tournament was the championship?
I don't know, but that was on December 9th. Yeah. So it's been almost a month.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know what's going on with the team. They're just bad. And today they were talking about Darvin Ham apparently is starting to lose the locker room. And I tell you what, LeBron is just, he is really great and all, but man, he just throws those coaches to the wolves, man. It's just
Darvin Ham. I mean, this isn't, doesn't have a lot of weight. He was like a major player in the league at one time. He's just a guy. I mean, he was fine. He professional basketball player, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they got to the Western Conference Finals last year, so
got crushed.
I would, well, that's fair, but the Nuggets are just such a better team. Maybe it's the Nuggets and Celtics. We talked about that before, but and also I don't know if you saw this, the Epstein list folks. They came out, so we're taking them to the shed. The only really notable athletes that I saw in there were Charles Barkley and Donovan Mitchell.
Right, but I saw. I think you changed this. So
I did. I had Jimmy Kimmel on there.
Was Kimmel on it or not?
So there was talks that he wasn't, and then I've seen on Twitter that he was. So
and that's
I don't
why
want to.
Aaron Rodgers, who didn't take the show, he was like talking all the smack about Kimmel that he was on the list, and then Kimmel came out and said, basically, keep your name out of my mouth, kind of stuff. And so anyway. Okay, but
I didn't want to misreport, so we'll see. Maybe next week I'll be able to confirm one way or the other that excuse me, Jimmy Kimmel is or is not on the list, but everybody else that's on there should be taken to the shed immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, hopefully you have seen not well. You've probably seen the documentary on Netflix. It's atrocious.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Yeah.
But anyway, it's not something. It's not must see TV. Please just
Yeah. So if you haven't checked it out though, that's a good read. So 900 pages worth.
Oof. Well, I'm going to take Kevin O'Connell to the shed. Same game. It was I guess Sunday night, last game of that weekend. And when you're in a must-win situation, we talked about it last week. You're in a must-win situation. I know Nick Mullins did not play great. He threw the ball well, except 4 times. He had 4 interceptions, which is bad. But he still threw for 400 yards. Maybe he lost locker room, whatever. Jaron Hall, obviously not the answer. He went in and played like garbage in that half. And then they made him go back to Mullins. And that's kind of what I said last week. I don't know why you want to do Mullins and if he throws a pick or then you pull him for Hall or the other way around. You put this rookie in a situation where it's a must-win situation. And he just, look, the Pack looked better than that they did in the first half for sure. But more importantly, that they couldn't answer. And it was more of supposed to be a tennis match. And they were just getting served out. So anyway, Kevin O'Connell, you've been a good coach for most of the season, but you're going to the shed. Come on with me. There's plenty of room next to me. It's a little chilly, but we can get close and whatever. So.
You'll be out next week, hopefully.
I hope so. Yeah. We'll see. So let's talk about the Club Dub. I mean, it's a growing wall of fame, so to speak. I'll go first since you have like 18 in here.
Oh, okay.
To your reference, Jaden Reed. He's in my Club Dub. Even though he did not take me to the championship, he's had an amazing rookie campaign. The guy's awesome. I really like the way he plays, and he's kind of not a throwback, but he's one of those guys that can do anything. He runs the ball a little bit. He gets those swing passes. He obviously yards after catch is his forte. Yeah. Had 2 big touchdowns. Gave me a shot. See, to me, he put me in the shed, but he's in Club Up because he gave me a shot. The problem is he gave me hope. Yeah. He dashed me just like this stupid Rivers thing that's dashed my hopes since I ever got it. I'm 0-4 ago. But anyway, Jaden Reed, welcome to Club Dub. You've got the whole place. Have fun. I'll see you when I get out of the shed.
He's like a poor man's Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, just smaller.
Yeah,
he's a smaller guy, but he's definitely a playmaker.
Is there a better wide receiver group that's under the age of 26 than Green Bay or even 25?
I don't think so.
I mean, for the next 5 or 6 years, they're set. And
even their 4th guy.
Yeah, Wegs.
Yeah, Davion Wicks.
Wicks, yeah, he's from
really
Virginia. I think. Yeah, he's really. I think I put him in Club a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's Dobbs and Watson's supposed to play this week. We'll talk about.
Yeah, and we'll get for sure.
Okay, let's go. We got the list.
Yeah, there's only 5.
And there's top 5 in Club Dub this week.
In no particular order, we're going to start with Torrey Taylor.
Okay.
So Torrey broke the FBS record for most punt yards in a season. this year.
Okay.
Playing for Iowa.
Well,
Out of all schools, if you could guess that. So it was an 85-year-old record. It got broken. So anytime you break an 84-year-old record, we'll put you in Club Dub. I don't even care if it's kicking.
Yeah, of course.
The next one on the list, we're going to put my fantasy team in Club Dub. So the one league I actually did want to win this year is the 18-team Gauntlet. It's my work
I like
league.
this name, too.
Yeah, Catalina Wine Mixin.
Yes, the Catalina Wine Mixin. It's a very popular event.
Absolutely.
In Catalina. Oh, actually, it's a fantasy team.
So we're going to have Summer of the Belt this year.
McCaffrey, you had a good squad.
Yeah, Josh Allen, McCaffrey, Jalen Warren, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin.
Okay.
Likely was the tight end.
He had a big game too.
He had a nice week for me. I had Darren Waller as well, so I played the whole two tight end flex.
Oh, two tight end. Flex, good.
And then defense, I think I had the Ravens.
Okay.
And then kicker, I think I had the Saints. I had by Groupie or whatever the hell.
Nice.
So, but yeah, good season. We went 8-6, so we had the highest points for in the whole league.
That's all that matters. You know you could score.
Yeah, we knew we had a chance.
It's just a matchup.
Yeah. So we'll have a Summer of the Belt. Look forward to that. All the pictures we're going to get. So
now, you guys, does the loser have to do something bad, or it's just the winner gets the belt?
No, the winner gets the belt.
Okay, so it's a positive league. It's not like where we.
Well, it is work related. We don't want an HR violation. Yeah, it's all of our work folks, so we don't want any HR complaints or violations. So we're all about cohesion here.
Okay.
So. No,
anyway. I get it.
Also, next, we're going to put Austin Matthews. So he had a game-winning goal in overtime last night for his 30th of the season. He has 30 goals in his first 36 games to start the year.
That's not bad.
First American-born player to have 30 goals in his first 8 seasons. So
finally, we knew we could do it.
Yeah, we have arguably the best American-born player ever to play
like 100
in
years.
the NHL. Well, no, ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been 100 years or something in the league, right?
Oh, yeah, 100 change.
Maybe more.
Yeah, so definitely for sure. So we'll put him in Club Dub. I don't know if you saw this the other night, but Jordan Clarkson.
Okay.
He plays for the Utah Jazz. He had a triple-double in their win over the Mavericks. I believe it was Tuesday night.
Okay.
It was the Utah Jazz's first triple-double since 2008. Now, we'll give you your weekly trivia question. Can you name the last person or player to have a triple-double for the Utah Jazz in 2008?
Jaron Williams.
No. Actually, you're gonna kick yourself because it was Carlos Boozer.
Boozer?
Yeah, it was Carlos Boozer.
He had a triple double. He actually passed the ball.
He was the last player for the Utah Jazz to have a triple double.
I mean, he used to be a double guy, but maybe just threw some assists in there.
I think it was like 1,228 games or something, or 1,227 games that had gone in between. So. Shout out to Jordan Clarkson, and then
Donovan Mitchell was a good player for them, and they never got it done.
No, never had a triple. I thought that was amazing too. Yeah. I was like, no way, Donovan Mitchell didn't have one triple double in Utah. So
they fell a stat short.
Yeah, right. So shout out to Jordan Clarkson, and then Caitlin Clark. I don't know if you saw that 3-pointer.
I did see the play many times.
They had a game. She hit a game-winning 3-pointer at the buzzer.
Michigan State.
On Wednesday night. She had 30, I think, or 33.
She's pretty good.
Yeah, she's really good. Put her with the men. So she shoots like Curry. But anyway.
She can really shoot.
She's currently 5th all-time on the scoring list. She's on pace to break the all-time record in February. And that's 3,527 points. I'll give you an extra bonus trivia question. Do you know the all-time leading scorer in NCAA women's basketball history? She's my woman crush, by the way. She's like one of my biggest crushes. Great eyebrows.
Oh, of course, you and these friggin' eyebrows. Give me an era. Like, how many years
she's
ago?
recent. This was like 2 or 3. Was it 2014 or it might have been 2013 to 2017 or 2014 to like 2018. She's currently in the WNBA. I will give you that. She's married to Darren Waller.
That doesn't help me.
Okay, well, that's things for you. You should get more pop culture references. That's
I don't know.
Kelsey Plum.
Okay.
For the Washington Huskies. So she had she's gorgeous. Anyway.
He's a big eyebrow guy. When he was walking around the bar New Year's Eve, that was one of the criteria. It's like, brunette eyebrows.
Anyway.
Eyebrows.
But we're gonna put Caitlin Clark in Club Dub. She might set the all-time scoring record a little sooner than February, but I think obviously praying that, knock on wood, nothing bad, catastrophic happens, no injuries or anything like that. She's going to be the all-time leading scorer, and she's just she's a bad woman on the planet with a basketball.
She's good. Let's see if she can get the national title this year.
Yeah,
fell just short last year. Very big controversial game, but we'll see what happens.
She's going to make I think she makes like $20 million a year in NIL or some crazy number. Yeah.
Wish I was good like that. All right, let's go to college football. We had a bunch of games, as we talked about, the bigger bowls, and you did much better this week than last week, so congrats.
Thank you. We only got one wrong this week.
I know, and that was one of the big ones. So we'll go over the big games here. So the Cotton Bowl, Missouri. You know, obviously you got that one. You're on the right side there. Ohio State with the backup quarterback wasn't as good as it was kind of what we planned it out.
It was beautifully planned. I think I even said on the pod, I think I said that it was going to be like a 17-10 game, and it was 3-0 going into the fourth quarter.
I was like, come on, let's see something. There's no, to that game.
It's a grower,
Washington, Texas. Yeah, exactly. And then Ole Miss, we planned that one out perfectly. We knew that, and they weren't technically top 10. I guess they're top 11. My bad.
Yeah.
But why would you put Penn State ahead of Ole Miss in the ranks anyway? Because sorry, Jimmy Franklin, you're bad against good teams. Sorry, pal. And then Georgia, this was a rough one. So after we did the podcast, I listened to a lot more information about what was going on. Where basically almost half the team,
24
people did not play in this game for Florida State, which I think is a bad sign. I understand they're kind of salty and they were going to play with the third string, whatever. It just was, and they lost 63-3. This was rough.
You don't think the school shelling out all this money for them to get out of the ACC is another bad sign?
That's a bad sign.
The writing was kind of on the wall.
I also was a little surprised Georgia, maybe they couldn't stop running up the store, but they really, they
ran the football. They just wouldn't tackle. They literally just couldn't stop them. They did trick plays in the first half. It was 42-3 at halftime or whatever.
But speaking of trick plays, Oregon, they were like, look, Liberty, you think you're pretty good. We are going to run trick plays. They were running flea flickers, obviously.
Well, it was 6-0 really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was like, oh, what's going on here? So for just a half a second.
For a second. Yeah. And then Oregon just rolled them. Bo Nix did play. He played very well. They destroyed them, so no easy cover. So then the two big games, we had two really good semifinals, Coop. And I haven't watched a lot of college football, as we've discussed. Part of not playing flag football means I don't watch much college football anymore because I used to go to the bar right afterwards. So now it's like Michigan's Alabama. Michigan was a better team. I saw it on paper, on the field. But Alabama switched their strategy in the second half and they're going to win this game. They had this game. They're up by a score. They looked like they had it not in hand, but they had control of the game. Then that bad fumble by Penix, which I don't even think they even scored on, but kind of
Milrow.
Oh, Milrow, my bad, Milrow. And then the bad snaps, dude. I don't know which quarter that was.
Yeah. Honestly, the whole year they've had trouble with that.
What is with that? How do they keep that guy in there?
They were talking about that on so Saban goes on Pat McAfee, I was watching it, but he was talking about they've been having trouble with that all year. And one of the AQ Shipley is one of the guys on there. He's talking about it's hard because they do a clap for their cadence.
Okay.
And when there's a lot of noise going on, you can't hear it. And another thing is you can't really prepare for it. Like in the NFL, you'll hear Dak go, "Here we go," or even Wahidi, with Aaron Rodgers, and the center can anticipate the ball getting snapped. So yeah. So sometimes the center, AQ was talking about when they did the clapping when Cliff Kingsbury came to Arizona.
Okay.
When they played in Pittsburgh one week, he would literally look up at Jumbotron and wait to watch Kyler clap, and then he would snap the ball. So they were talking about that's obviously there's a lot going on because he's trying to make reads and checks, and then he's waiting for the quarterback. So it sounds
like they should change that strategy.
Probably, but
those 3 snaps, I think it was 3.
Yeah.
The one drive was a drive killer. It was like whatever,
yeah.
2nd and 4, and then it turned into 4th and 25. And then at the end of the game, when obviously this game went to overtime, give Michigan credit for coming back, making the score.
Yeah.
Didn't go for 2.
That was a beautiful drive too. I don't know where that
drive.
Where was that game? What was that call? Those play calls. The whole
I don't understand.
Second,
what did you do the whole second half?
It's like they saved those. They knew they were going to be in that situation. They saved those 8 play calls.
Playing the lines. Well, that's why. And then I thought, we're going to go for 2. Nope, we're not going to go for 2. We're going to go to overtime.
Yeah. Well, he knew he had the better team. Well, he knew he had the better team. That's what it came down to.
And they finally gave the ball to the running back, Corum, and the guy runs up the middle twice for a touchdown.
Yep.
And then they went for that 4th down. And I know that the play got broken down and all that stuff. It still was some sort of read option from the 4. I don't understand why it's just not a pass. I know that Milroy's not as good as other quarterbacks, but dude, that was a terrible play. So, hey, good job. Michigan covers. They win the game. They advance to the finals for the first time really ever in this era. They had won a national title in 97, but they didn't have to play at a game like this. So they finally got out of the semifinals.
Yeah, and they're. I think Jim's got the monkey off his back, and I think that's a big deal for him. And I think Tuesday you're going to see that he's going to the NFL. If you ask me,
likely.
But no, I think they got the monkey off their back, and I think they are well equipped to play Washington. There's a couple different reasons why that is, but we'll talk about Texas and Washington first.
So the second game was an awesome game, although it got a little hairy at the end. So Washington. I had not seen this team play. Full disclosure, never seen him play, not even one down.
Oh wow!
And I've heard of Michael Penix Jr. I remember when he played at Indiana, he was a very mobile quarterback. I heard a lot. I heard all about these wide receivers, but second play of the game, he just chucks the ball like 40 yards on a dime to a flag route. Amazing throw. Yeah. He's hitting these guys deep.
And not even
tight coverage.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even shitty coverage.
Tight coverage, just putting it right where it needs to be. He's gunning it down the middle, never getting touched. That offensive line's decent.
Best in the country, actually.
And Texas, I don't understand why Texas. We'll talk about this for your handicap for the next game. They barely ran the ball. Was it because Washington played good defense? It felt like once Washington kind of got up a little bit, and they did match scores early, they were content throwing the football and not running the ball. So you got to keep the ball away from this offense, first of all. And then the second half, Washington just kind of took the air out of the stadium. That third quarter, I think, if I'm correct, Texas only had like 5 yards in the third quarter.
Something like that, yeah.
Because they had a fumble and a couple fumbles in the second half. And then finally, the game was kind of in hand, but I think I was going to praise the coach for Washington until he kind of almost blew this game.
Yeah.
He had a couple really bad decisions. They threw the ball on 3rd and goal at one point before that field goal to go up 9. And then it's hard to say. Obviously, the guy got injured when they were trying to run the clock out. Why don't you just take a knee?
Yeah, that's fair.
Could have gone down to 12 seconds. They got 50 seconds. They got 47 seconds to go the field. And, what's his name? Ewers. What's his name?
Ewers, yeah. Quinn Ewers.
I mean, I don't think he's a very good quarterback, but he got him down there.
No, you don't think so?
I don't.
Oh.
When I watched that game, granted, I'm watching it against Penix's ability, and Penix was throwing dimes all day, but
I thought Ewers played.
He was he was only 50% in his first 18, 20 passes. Then at the end of the game, I don't understand, honestly, watching this game, Coop, because I haven't seen a lot of it. Why is Washington playing man-to-man in this situation?
Yeah.
They're giving situations. I don't think Ewers can hit tight windows like Penix could. Make him go down the field and slow play it with only one timeout. Instead, he was letting them get one deep coverage. He got that 32-yarder.
Yeah. And
then they got really to the 11, and then I don't know. Obviously, Washington finally stood up, and they did win the game outright, covering the spread, and they look good. So they did win by 6 points? No. Yeah, they kicked the field goal. They won by 6 points in the end.
Yeah. No, I think there was 7, I thought. Because they could have scored it and tied it up, I think, to go to overtime. I think they would have.
I thought they were going to win it because they were down by 9, and they decided to kick the field goal when they got in close because they had to get 2 scores. Then they got the onside kick. Then they couldn't run out the clock. So they're down by 6. They could have lost the game.
Yeah, 37-31.
So anyway, Washington, this sets up, we're talking a lot about the old games, but let's talk about the matchup now. So Washington against Michigan, is it still 5? I didn't check.
As far as I know.
It's like 4.5, 5. So Michigan's the favorite. 4.5. They're the favorite. They're playing in no real advantage in spot. They're playing in Houston, so it's kind of pretty neutral. I think I know what you're going to say, but here's what I'll say about Washington. And I'm going to go back on what I said last week. I was the guy. I was like, you know what? Everybody's disrespecting Washington. I'm going to throw bucks on 7-1 for them to win the title.
You did say that.
And I just did it because I wasn't going to bet the games. I wasn't feeling as confident as you are about them. So actually that puts me in a situation where I can hedge. I'll definitely bet on Michigan now. Figured out the hedge already so I can win a profit.
Yeah.
But 5 points does seem like a lot to me. I don't know. I mean, I know that Michigan is physical. And you can talk to me about their corners because they're going to have to stand up. But it's the pass rush because Penix had all day in that game. Yeah. He never really got hit. So I know you like Michigan. So is it because of the pass rush? I know they're not going to stop the run. So they're going to run the ball down their throat. But assuming that Washington can score, is it because they're going to get a pass rush on them and can cover, or what? What's the other side?
Honestly, I look at this from the angle of this Washington team very similar, reminds me of the Ohio State teams from a couple years ago when you had Olave and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Garrett Wilson with C.J. Stroud even. So I think that just the familiarity, they were built to beat that team. Okay. So honestly, I think that favors Michigan as a matchup standpoint. To your point, the secondary of Michigan is much better than Texas's. So it's night and day. The defensive coordinator from Michigan, I think is Jesse Minter. Mm-hmm. He's from Baltimore staff. Okay. So the defense that you see at Baltimore is very much the defense you see at Michigan. Mm-hmm. So I think they're going to be able to control the line of scrimmage. Obviously, I thought Texas would be able to do that with Washington, but. I think the coaching mismatch is going to favor Michigan more. Okay. I think the ability for Michigan to want to actually run the football. I think Texas was like optimistic to run the ball, and when they didn't see success early, they kind of just abandoned it. I don't think Michigan will do that. This team is built to control the ball, run the ball. They want to be physical. To your point, I just think it's a bad matchup for Washington. I think.
What number would you take Washington at? I mean, it's not going to get there, but I'm just curious because it's a weird number. 4.5, 5 is a kind of a tweener number. It's not 3 or 3.5. So what is the number that you would take Washington in this game?
I mean, maybe 7 or 7.5.
Okay.
I could
see a touchdown.
I could see Michigan winning by 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see a 10-point. Because if Michigan gets up, they're just going to keep running the ball. I think Michigan's team total is 30 right now, and I would take the over if I had to pick.
The only thing that I am not trying to make you change anything, I'm just countering because this is the other thought I had when I did the future was Washington played this really tough schedule. You know? And Texas didn't play that tough a schedule, and Michigan really hasn't played that tough a schedule. And I think you would say that Texas was tougher than Alabama. So, that's the only thing I would have as a caveat that Washington's played good teams. Maybe they haven't played physical teams like this in the Pac-12. I don't know.
That could be. I think Oregon's probably the closest thing that is going to be like as from a physicality standpoint, but I still don't think it matches up to the same kind of style that Harbaugh and them want to play because they still get under center. They still, they'll still run kind of a pro approach, if you will. To where a lot of other, to your point when you texted, like, I don't know why we're running the shotgun 4th and 3rd, like 4th and 3. Why are we in the shotgun? Like, so, and Michigan, like I said, I think that just a different style.
And I guess like last week, I think the key matchup last week, what I said was, can the Texas, secondary stop those receivers? They could not.
No.
This week, I think is can Michigan's offensive or defensive line get pressure on from the offensive line, which you said they won whatever the award is for best offensive line.
Yeah.
But if they can get pressure on Penix and rush him, and that's what I was saying, even we were texting during the game, they need to speed up Penix now. Like, if you speed him up, make him so now granted, he's pretty shifty, and they ran him a lot more than they've done him this year, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to be able to do that this week. It's just, can they get him off tempo? Because when he got that, even the quick throws were just incredible. But he got an extra, 2 beats.
Right.
It was over.
Well, I think the difference in preparation, too, between having a whole month to prepare for Texas and having 6 days to prepare for Michigan, I think that heavily favors Harbaugh and the staff. So that's where my mind goes, is the coaching mismatch.
Yeah, we're opposite sides on this one, but I will be betting with you on Michigan.
We'll get to know.
I'm locking in profit.
Yeah. We are, and by the way, we forgot to mention, overall, we're 35-14-1 this year on our college picks. So hopefully we can get to 36-14-1.
What's the total in this one? We didn't put this down.
Give me just a second.
My phone, I left on the other side of the computer, so I'm not going to reach.
Over-under is 56.5.
Okay, so what do you think about that? You think it's going to be an under game because the Michigan's going to try to bleed clock, or you think it'll get over? Because what I will say is early in that game, I thought it was going to be a track meet, and then Washington just slowed that thing down. It did get over. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is not going to hit the over. Like, they're going to split it, but they ended up going over. I think I like the under, actually.
Yeah, I do too. I do like the under there, but I maybe because I could see maybe 51 or 52 is probably about where I would put it if it were me. But I would definitely take the under, but I would take Michigan for sure.
Okay. Yeah. 31-21, something like that for you. All right, well, let's get into the NFL here. Week 17, well, this was interesting. The home team's still doing well, but again, favorites and dogs split down the middle, 8-8, and totals got more regularized, 9-7 to the over. A lot more spreads coming into effect, just like last week, 4-16. So it's kind of it took 18 weeks or 17 weeks. Now the books have it figured out, except now we're entering week 18, which is all bets are off.
Yeah, now you're in no man's land.
Side action is whatever. What can I say to everybody? It's we lost a leg in this one. We stepped on a landmine about 2 weeks ago, and now we're just limping home. But we got 1 out of 4 again. But just to keep you in mind for the contest for future, top entry 70%. We knew that. I knew that 70% is a winner almost every year, right around that 70, and the cut line is about 62.3. Right in that 60 to 63% is normal. So we just couldn't maintain the pace. We did go with the Cowboys -5. Yeah, and again, we were texting. It's like, come on, man. And maybe you're right. Maybe they were the wrong side the whole way. But they had a chance. They just couldn't keep him out of the end zone. And then I don't understand what Campbell was doing. I don't know why he went for 2 from the 7-yard line or whatever it was, 8-yard line or whatever. He got the penalty. I mean, kick the extra point, give me a chance to get my cover. That's all I care about, Campbell. I mean, I don't care about your winning streak or whatever.
Did you hear him on? He did a talk show radio with Detroit today or yesterday. And the guy was like, the radio talk host guy was like, I just think it was irresponsible. He's like, okay, like he's just like, whatever, man. He's like, so, but
they were in the playoffs.
They got
it's just they could have, and that was a whole other thing about the eligibility and all that stuff. And he's back on Sunday night football, Sunday. Primetime game again.
Oh, he's doing the Dolphins?
He's doing the Pittsburgh game.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the Pittsburgh Ravens game. God. So that's a 3:00 game, but he's like a standalone game. So that wasn't that great, but they did win 20-19. So Dallas has a chance to win the NFC East this week. We don't talk about the Eagles. The Eagles lost against Arizona. Crazy. Buffalo, they didn't get it done. -13. What can I say?
Who told you that? Who told you that was going to happen? I can't remember.
You did, but I just thought that they were going to kick ass because what was funny, they lost that game in the first. Well, they won the game. Let's make it clear.
Yeah,
they won the game 27-21, but they lost the cover in the first half. They had 4 turnovers of Zappy in the first half, and were only up by like 4 points.
Yeah,
and I was like, because he's not going to do that bad in the second half. Or it'll get pulled. So it was one of those situations they never really were covering. They had one chance. They were up 27-14, I think, and then they got the backdoor cover. So great job for the Patriots. The Finns, man. I know you probably talked about this. You're Dolph out.
I've been Dolph out for about 3 weeks now.
Well, they're in the playoffs. Let's stop there.
They don't even deserve to be.
But, they played good for a quarter.
Yeah.
And then they just got Lamar'd.
They got shit canned. Yeah.
God, Lamar. First of all, thank you, Lamar Jackson, for winning me the MVP future that I bought on you at, 15-1. Thank you, because I think you're going to win
changes
now.
every week. Last week it was 7-1, I think. Or no, that was Washington. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but right.
Right, that was.
But I got in on it in October.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that. I mean, he could lose it theoretically, but I think it's in now.
Yeah.
So thank you, Lamar. Getting 5 touchdowns really helped. But they look great. I mean, 56-19. They just kind of. I think they had a little payback from last year. Didn't they lose 2 years in a row to Miami?
Yeah, once on Monday night, and then last year they blew it on like week 3. They had that amazing comeback.
Yeah, Tua had all those throws, so maybe they kind of had something for them. But this week they'll rest their guys. This Carolina, I mean, Beathard did play, and so it was 6.5 seemed like a not a gift, but maybe it could have been more. I think they closed it a bigger or smaller favorite. Didn't matter, 26-0, which maybe that bodes well for the Jags. We'll talk about the injury report in a minute, but Beathard just made the easy throw, and they gave it to Etienne. Like you said, he had a huge game. Yeah. Again, I'm not in the fantasy playoffs, or it wasn't in the finals for my other team, but he had a good game.
Oh yeah, and he's like just that Carolina run defense is atrocious. But hey, they didn't get shut out because the owner threw a drink on the fans, so he definitely scored. He scored a fine for that at least. So
oh my god,
good old David Tepper.
He's a
you stay classy, San Diego.
But we did get one. We got the Pittsburgh. Mason Rudolph. He did it again, man. 30-23. He put up some yards, 469 yards in this one.
Yep.
They played well. It makes Seattle, now that's a winner get in, they could win and still be out.
Yeah. Because
of this loss. So Pittsburgh did, and they have a situation where they can win. They need some help to get in when they play Baltimore. You did well with, C.J. Stroud came back.
Yeah.
He played well. They covered easily 26-3. I didn't necessarily see this one. So this sets up for a winner get in situation. So good job for Houston. Tampa though, this was what the hell happened in this game?
That was a clunker. I don't know. I didn't really get a chance to watch most of this game. I just saw the score across the bottom. I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, the big thing is, I guess, even a team like Tampa, as good as they've been playing, are they really going to win 5 in a row? No, they're not a 5 in a row team. So they were down 17-0 in this game, and they didn't score to the fourth quarter in this game. So the Saints win 23-13. It gives them a chance to make the playoffs if some things happen. But Tampa can still win the division if they win this week. So even with that loss, but the Bears, I need to push for the Bears harder, man. They are playing so good.
Huh.
They dominated this game, 37-17. I knew that the Falcons were garbage. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think they put up 37 points. But they lit it up. They played really well. Defense is playing good. They may be eliminated for the playoffs, or they have whatever. They're still under 1%. I don't know why they just eliminated from my mind, but. They have a chance to knock out Green Bay this week. We'll talk about that. And then lastly, the Browns, which was on Thursday when we recorded.
Yeah, the Jets. Yeah.
They were awesome, 37-20. And Joe Flacco.
David and Njoku.
Are you flack in or flack out?
No, you gotta be flacking. You gotta be flacking kidding me. That's what I gotta say. It's
So good.
So, but no, I think he's gonna make like $4 million in incentives or something. And also, before I guess, if anything, we'll talk when we get to the Tampa Bay game. But there's a lot of incentives for Baker Mayfield this week. I don't know if you saw that too.
I've heard that. Yeah, he's if he finishes in the top 5, right?
Well, top 5 in the NFC and then top 10 in the league. But he's got like 4 categories. They're going to pay him $500,000 apiece.
He's 8th right now. He can definitely get to 5 because Mahomes and Stafford aren't going to play, so he has a chance. Okay, well, let's talk about some of these storylines. You're leading me into it. So Lamar, a lot of guys aren't playing this week. It's a weird week. Week 18 is wild. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's not playing. So you got Tyler Huntley, but he's started in the league. He's played pretty good. Solid backup. Purdy's not going to play this week. You got Sam Darnold. I'm not sure. I don't think McCaffrey's going to play. I think he's on the injury report. Is out with a calf. So, but they play the Rams, who don't need the game either. And Stafford is also not playing. So it's the Wentz-Arnold matchup. Everything we wanted at the beginning of the season, right, to close the season. I don't think Cooper Kupp will play. I'm not sure if you heard.
No, he's already, I think, out.
So Puka will play because he's got like 40 yards to break the rookie record or something. So I think he'll play. Cleveland's not going to play Joe Flacco. Did you hear where they're going to start?
No.
I think it's Tim Boyle again. Or
is it?
Yeah, is that right?
Well, PJ Walker is he still not on the team? He's gone.
He's out there. I think it's Tim Boyle, if I'm not mistaken. The guy the Jets started. He was on the couch. He's coming back.
Yeah,
I think that's right. It's goofy. They pick a guy off the street to start. I'm surprised they didn't call you.
Right. Jeff Driscoll.
Well, Jeff Driscoll. My bad. Jeff Driscoll. That's Tim Boyle.
Oh my God, revenge game? Jeff Driscoll revenge game?
Yes.
Hell yeah. All right.
Well, yeah. And then Detroit, it sounds like they're going to play their guys, but they really can't improve their position necessarily. So I don't know. They're just kind of being weird. Mahomes will not be playing. I'm sure Kelsey's not going to play for the Chiefs. It's just you got to check the reports. And then in the injury category, sorry, buddy. I know your Finn's out for a reason, but Bradley Chubb got tore his ACL, which sucks. Tua's kind of banged up, even though he'll play this week. I'm assuming. You got Mostert's been kind of banged up, and Waddle. So those guys, you got to watch them. I hope they play. I'm assuming everybody's going to play to try to.
I would assume so. They got to
win the division.
Yeah.
You talked about Baker. He's a little banged up because I think he left the game the other day, or maybe he got knocked out temporarily.
I think he left for a couple plays and then came back in. I know he threw that touchdown to Godwin because that changed my whole day. Yeah, it changed my whole fantasy matchup around.
And then, but it sounds like the Green Bay guys are coming back. Christian Watson's going to play. Jaden Reed's going to play. Wicks is going to play. So they're going to have the full complement of skill players, which is good. Trevor Lawrence, it sounds like he's struggling to play. He's limited today. He's questionable with the shoulder. He had short passes. The line dropped in that one. It was like 5.5, 6, and now it's down to 3.5, indicating that he's probably not going to play, but this is a must-win for them. Kamara hurt his ankle. He's questionable. And then Levis, who knows if he's going to play, if that matters in that game. But check all these things. I mean, honestly, like we talk about this now at Thursday, it can change drastically by Saturday or even Sunday. A lot of game time decisions, and it's hard to sort all these things out.
And you got to check. Did you see that presser that Mike Vrabel did today?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like losing. If there's anything that he hates more than anything, it's losing.
I mean, nobody likes to lose.
Yeah.
But
great YouTube clip.
Why don't you get a better secondary or something? You know what I mean? Or give the ball to Henry, and that's it. I don't know. It's weird. Like some days, them weeks they're not giving it to him. So I love Vrabel. I hope he'll be coaching somewhere, even if he's not
Patriots?
coaching. Ooh, I like it.
Oh.
I mean, makes sense.
Just saying.
We'll talk about that after next week because it'll be Black Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah. So, all right. So let's go over the lines, Coop. We've got 2 games on Saturday, and then the rest are on Sunday. There's no Monday night this week, right?
No Monday night.
It's just Sunday night football. So 2 games on Saturday. The first game is Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Pittsburgh's a 4-point favorite now, 3.5-point total. We talked about Huntley starting there, and I would caution you on this one. Originally, I had Pittsburgh, especially when it was at 3.5. Here's the caution: they got to win. I get it. Mike Tomlin, blah blah. These games are always within 3 points, so it's like 4 points.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's not that I want to I want to take the points at Baltimore. It's just I had them in the top 5 to 7. They're still on the sheet right now. I'm probably going to pull them off. I don't like it. As good as Baltimore or Pittsburgh's been playing better, but this is a rivalry game. These guys get up for it, even if it's Huntley. I would probably, as I reverse my sheet, I would probably take the points of Baltimore if somebody put a gun to my head.
And you got to remember too, Baltimore's backups have to be worth something because they had like 22 preseason games in a row. Right. They had won, so you know that they take shit seriously.
They do.
The backups do. So
and if they can knock out the Steelers officially, not
yeah,
bad.
They definitely are going to be happy about that. So for that reason, I'm on Baltimore. And plus, I don't think Mason Rudolph, I think, obviously has been better. George Pickens has been going off, but their run game has been really good lately. The last couple games, and I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball as well as they have.
Right.
Last few weeks against Baltimore, so I think 4 points is just too many.
Too many.
Yeah, the hook would be a beautiful number at 3.5, but I love 4 even more.
Well, plus it's 35.5 total. I heard there's going to be this terrible weather on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's just to get a snowstorm.
It's going to be a sloppy one. It'll probably be a field goal game, like all these are. Sure, Pittsburgh probably wins, kicks a field goal to win it, has a chance to the playoffs. But 4, come on now. Okay, so then we've got Houston at Indy.
The playoff game.
This is a playoff game, and this is kind of like reminds me of what the Raiders Chargers like 2 years ago or whatever.
The tie,
yeah, when they had to. Yeah, it's terrible. So Houston is now the favorite, 1.5 points at the Colts. The Colts opened as the favorite and flipped all the way over, 47-point total. I agree with the move. I think Houston's going to win the game. I was kind of. Indy's been playing. They've been such a tough team to figure out here. But I would say C.J. Stroud. They played great with him on the field, apparently.
Stroud.
And I like the way that their defense is going to play against this team. And if you get Gardner Minshew throwing the ball more than he needs to, that's going to be good things for you. I like Houston to cover this number. Separately, I know it's not exactly related, but I put a little cheddar cheese on the coach of the year, and I think that the coach of the year could come out of this game. I know that the current favorite is Cleveland guy.
Kevin Stefanski.
Oh,
okay.
But I don't think they won 11 games. They were supposed to win 9.5, whereas Houston was supposed to win 4.5 games, right? And now they're pushing to win 10. That's a huge delta. And Steichen obviously did it without a starting quarterback. He's got a backup, so. These two guys are the next two favorites, Steichen and what's his name? Who's the coach?
D'Amico Ryans.
So he can win me a little cheddar.
D'Amico Ryan. I don't think it's
Ryans.
plural.
I think it's an S. Yeah.
Is it plural? Okay.
So I put it on Ryans. I put it on D'Amico Ryans.
Gotcha.
Just a little piece of money.
The one thing that I keep going back and forth this game because in my mind, I think Houston. I see in my mind C.J. Stroud just lighting up the defense, but then I can see Jonathan Taylor just running all over the field.
I think that's what happened the last time they played.
So I struggle with this, but I think Will Anderson is going to be the key to this game. He's going to if he can singly get. I think he had 3 sacks by himself last game. He's been coming on as of late. He's making a push for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Oh yeah, he's definitely arriving. He arrived last week all over the place. But no, I think he's going to be the difference. And I think for that reason alone, I think I would probably go with Houston. But I don't know, man. Indy, I could see Indy winning this game so easily. They're at home.
It's a great game to watch.
Yeah, the Loud House, if you will, down there in Lucas Oil. They're rumbling, bumbling. Fired up.
It may be on during the game night.
Okay. Yeah, I hope so.
I just don't know if I'm going to put the sound to it. I've got a whole playlist I've been working on for days.
Oh, okay.
5-hour playlist.
Well, that's all right. As long as the game is on, we don't have to hear it. But yeah, no. Shout out to Marcus Firebird, buddy back home. He's a big Colts fan, so I know he's going to be fired up for this game.
Yeah, Action's a big Colts fan. I wonder. We'll see.
Oh yeah, what?
We haven't talked yet. But I'm sure he's been going against Colts lately. He won the Raiders last week, which was we didn't talk about that game. They did cover that game. The Raiders barely. They were down 23-0, and they came all the way back. Okay, so on Sunday now, it's there's a pretty good early slate here. There's 6 games. You've got the Jets against the Patriots. Could be Bills' last game there in New England. Patriots are 1.5 point favorite, 30.5 point total. Really high total. Again, this nor'easter that they're talking about, this big snowstorm that's supposed to come through. I'd be on the Pats. I mean, it's his last game. You got to figure they're going to play hard. I know the Jets are supposedly salty on defense. They haven't been the last couple weeks. So I would go with the Patriots to cover this short number. It's not pretty, but not in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think I don't know. I just think that the emotional factor is definitely with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. So from that standpoint, from the human element, I do agree with you. This game is so bad. I don't know because I can see Breece Hall having a good day running the ball too.
Did you know that the New England has beat them 15 times in a row?
Yeah.
It has to end at some point.
Right.
So maybe it's this week. The last time. Stick
Nah,
with the
fuck
Bill.
it. They're going 16 in a row. We're going with the Patriots. Bill's going to hammer. He's going to run up the score. Bailey Zappi's probably going to throw for a couple touchdowns.
In the snow.
Zeke Elliott, maybe
Zeke.
Resurrection, maybe.
He's played decent this year.
He has. In his time of being a starting running back with Ramondre Stevens out, he's been pretty good. But Hunter Henry might be the difference if he plays. So
tight end of the year.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have got hurt, he could have been. What could have been? But yeah, no. Let's ride with the Pats. That might be our 401k lock of the week.
Whoa. Okay, we're not doing that. Don't do that, everybody. Listen to the disclaimer at the end of the podcast.
1-800-GAMBLER if you have any problems or issues.
All right, so now Tampa, Carolina. Tampa wins. They lock up the NFC South. 4.5-point favorites on the road. 37.5-point total. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why this line came down. It was like 5.5 and now down to 4.5. Who was betting Carolina? I can't do it. I've done it repeatedly. We keep losing doing that. Like, I'm not doing it. So I would go Tampa or pass. I don't love the game. And Carolina did cover this number in Tampa. They covered actually, I think it was
19. I think it's 21-19, wasn't it?
It was 21-18. I think it's 3.5 in Tampa early in the year. So logic would tell you they can do it again. I don't know, man. Tampa has to be motivated. It's not in my top 5. I know you like this game quite a bit. You've been on the Bucs most of the year, but I lean Tampa, but I'm not picking the game for contest.
Yeah, no, I'm going Tampa here. They, like, to your point, I guess we should have seen this coming, but the 5 in a row, winning 5 in a row, they definitely weren't going to win 6 in a row. No. So we should have seen that coming. I maybe didn't look at the metrics the right way, so that's on me. But no, this week we're with Tampa. I think Rashid White's going to have a good game. I think you play any running back against Carolina's running. Yeah, just Rashid White. He's probably going to have 5 or 6 catches. He's probably going to have 150 all-purpose yards.
Prop. So you're saying the prop would be
over on everything.
Over on his yards and yards of receiving.
Yards and catches, yards, everything. So
nice.
No, I think Josh Palmer could be you could have a Josh Palmer sighting just because it feels like Mike Evans has been a little quiet the last couple weeks. But no, I like Tampa here. And also Antoine Winfield got snubbed from the Pro Bowl list. So I think he should have. Yeah,
take one of the house.
They put Buda Baker in over Antoine Winfield, and
great name.
Yeah, it is a great name, great player. But this year he didn't have any interceptions, any fumble recovers, any forced fumbles. Anything.
I also heard J.C. Horn's ankle's a little tweaky, so Mike Evans
maybe could be. But yeah, I love Tampa here. I would even take the over. I think they might hit the over by themselves.
Okay, wow, that's a big number.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got Cleveland at Cincinnati, more or less a meaningless game. 7-point favorites for Cincinnati at home, 37.5-point total. We talked about the return of Jeff Driscoll to Mighty Cincinnati. I think he saw the field a couple times. Mm-hmm. Cleveland defense is good though, right? I mean, they're not going to rest everybody. 7 points. I would take Cleveland plus 7.
I hate that we're agreeing. It's scary.
It is scary.
It is scary.
It's only taken us 18 weeks.
Yeah, only 18. Only 18 weeks. That's funny. No, I'm with you. I'm with Cleveland. I think even if their backups are in, I think just 7 is too many. Their ability to run the ball is going to be even no matter what the quarterback has been. They've still been able to run the football. And schematically, from Kevin Stefanski, he's been a really good play caller all year. No matter who's been the quarterback as well. To your point, coach of the year candidate or favorite, front runner, if you will. But no, I'm with you. I think Cleveland is just too many points. They've always played well against the Bengals, and they always play well against the Bengals in Cincinnati as well. They do. So even if it's been Joe Burrow or Carson Palmer or whoever, they've always given kind of the Bengals trouble there. Mm-hmm. So no, I'm with you. I think 7's too many. I would even tease it down to like maybe 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. So
okay, a little alt line for you. Okay, so Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit is a 3-point favorite, 45.5-point total. I guess maybe I have to do the calcs again. I guess if the two teams tie, they could jump to the 2 seed, but meaning both Philadelphia or both teams would have to lose. Whatever. In the end, I think they're going to be stuck in the 3 seed. That's the way I look at it. But to your point, Dan Campbell, he's gonna play his guys to win. Minnesota, it's hard to say. This team is so hard to figure out. They had that stretch where they were looking really great. Then they kind of were competitive, but keep losing all the time. So I don't like this game at all for Minnesota, but I don't think I want to lay. Well, 3 is not bad. It's not a bad number. When it was 3.5 or something, I was, our typical stay away from the hook kind of thing. So it's Detroit or pass for me, but I don't love Detroit in my top 5 for sure.
I love Detroit. There is no one more emotionally vested, I think, in the rest of the season.
His face gets emotionally invested.
Than the Detroit Lions. Like they've gotten hosed. They have a lot of doubt, I'm sure. Okay. Just from the outside. I think if anything, this might galvanize them as a team. Like,
let's go.
Well, if anything,
this team that's out of the playoffs.
Well, if anything, they might have just realized like how quickly a game could like be taken from you.
Sure.
Because even to your point, maybe it wasn't the right side, but it felt like even in the beginning of that game, they had momentum. Like they probably should have had more than 3 or 10 points. Like they could have scored more touchdowns. Like they needed to lean more on their run game, in my opinion, which I think they do in this game. I think both backs are going to be heavily involved, and I see them destroying Minnesota. Even if
I'm
they
not
blitz,
surprised by it.
Yeah.
Just,
even with them blitzing Goff, I still think that he's going to have a good day throwing the football. I don't see how this is a 3-point game. I see Detroit by 6 or more. Yeah.
You think an over?
An over.
45.5?
That's a perfect number.
Because
I think I could see. Oh, man.
Last time they played was 53. That was in Minnesota when they were highly motivated. I just don't know I can't determine.
Well, Nick Mullins. Yeah, I was going to say, and you're getting Nick
Mullins is amazing.
Oh,
he's amazing.
He's
the
so
most
good.
amazing quarterback.
Why didn't San Fran keep him?
He throws the other team. He completes the ball every time.
Yeah, just to
his team or their team. Or your team.
So, but no, I love Detroit that way, and we'll take the over. Why not?
Okay.
Life's too short to bet the under.
Exactly. Okay, this is an important game, even though both teams could potentially not qualify for the playoffs. You've got Atlanta at New Orleans. New Orleans is a 3-point favorite at home, 42-point total. Really interesting here. Technically, Atlanta can still win the division. I don't know how it's possible. You have to do some math and some abacus work. Yeah. But if Tampa loses,
the winner of this game,
and Atlanta wins, they're all playing at the same time, though. Yeah. Atlanta wins. They actually jump both these teams and they win by some. Yeah. They win the division. But I don't like Atlanta anymore. I was early in the season, big Atlanta guy, had him for the division, blah, blah, blah. This defense sucks, man. It just sucks. Now, you may think, Jimmy Wegs, they are playing Derek Carr, who is garbage. And he wasn't great last week. He just, they made enough plays. Yeah. But I just think that the Saints defense is going to slow down this run, which is all they can do. And they're going to make a couple plays. That's all you got to do to beat Atlanta. They got a terrible secondary. So I would lay the points here in New Orleans. I think they're going to win this game. And maybe if they get lucky here or there, they could still make the playoffs if the Bears could do them a favor and get them in the dance here. But I would lay the 3 points with New Orleans.
I think if Tampa loses, the winner of this game wins the NFC South.
They do.
Yeah.
That's
right. Yeah, New Orleans can still get in just by winning and hopefully Tampa loses.
But if Tampa wins, then
everybody's out, I think.
Well, no, New Orleans could still. Are they out?
Well, I guess they could still sneak in. But
New Orleans
they're kind
lost
of the Bears
to Green
situation.
Bay. God damn! I did all the scenarios. Did the article.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
I think maybe Seattle. Whatever. It's a weird situation, but either way,
check out Wegs Pool.
Yeah, Wegs Pool.
Check that out.
Read in the second paragraph.
But man, I'm with you. I guess from a defensive standpoint, that's probably the best unit out of all 4 of these is the New Orleans defense.
It is.
But man, this is going to be a field goal to death game. This is going to be like an 18 to 12 game. Yeah, this is going to be an 18 to 12 game or 18 to 15
I forgot to
game.
mention, Younghoe Koo missed 2 field goals. That also cost me the championship in that thing.
Oh, yeah. And
one of them, to kick him in the snow.
When the wind even. Like, the first one was so short. Like, as he kicked it into the wind, he was like 5 or 6 yards short.
It's like my throws on the dice table.
You gotta get that power grunt. But no, I guess I'm with you. If I'm gonna trust anybody, I'll trust Derek Carr more than Taylor Heineke if I had to pick one. But man, Juwan Johnson's been really good at tight end for the Saints, so
he's been good.
He could be a bad matchup, and Shaheed's been playing well. But I guess the wide receiver group, could give Atlanta fits. To your point, their secondary is bad outside of Jesse Bates. But
Shaheed's healthy.
God, both these teams are just unwatchable.
Well, they shouldn't be playoff teams, right? They're just in a bad division.
This is one of the teams that's gonna roll and just get shit canned the first. When the sad part is, one of these teams could still host a playoff game.
I know.
Like one of those
Atlanta
3 teams
could host a playoff game. That team sucks.
It's just ridiculous.
Okay, well, let's get to the next one. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Jacksonville, this isn't corrected, should be they're 3.5 point favorites currently because Trevor Lawrence isn't going to play supposedly. 39.5 point total. So Jags have to win to get in. If they lose, there's some machinations that they can make it, but winning and they're in. They win the AFC South. Yeah. But, this is the thing. This is a team that 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, when did they lose to Tennessee? Was it Tennessee? No, they lost to that. Yeah, it was Tennessee.
No, that was Miami. They lost to Tennessee on primetime.
Who did they lose to?
They lost to the Bengals in primetime
on Monday
night. Yeah,
the Bengals in primetime. After that, they have just tanked. They've won one game last week without C.J. Beathard, and we talked about Brable, but I just 3.5. The number's right now. Divisional game, divisional road favorite is not a great thing. You usually back the home team. I love the Titans at 5.
Yeah, I fell in love with it.
Even with Lawrence playing, I loved it. I don't love this 3.5 now. So,
oh really?
Yeah, it's a stay away game for me now. No Moss.
Yeah, you're right. I fell in love with it at 5, but I fell in like with it at 3.5. So either way, either way, I think Tennessee is the play here.
Mm-hmm.
Vrabel still wants to play and win.
He does.
And I mean, you're getting Tannehill, so I mean, at least you're getting
well,
somebody.
And it's a payback from last year. Didn't last year the Jags? It was a face-off game. Whoever was in the playoffs, and the Jags beat them. Sent the Titans home. Yeah, they can knock them out of the playoffs effectively with this win if the Titans can get it.
Yeah, and I like I said, I like the Titans here, and this might be a Derrick Henry go away game. Because give him the ball and then send him.
Jags defense is terrible.
Send him on his way in free agency. So, and the wide receivers for Tennessee have gotten healthier the last couple weeks. So they're getting Treylon Burks back. They're getting some of their other key pieces back. So and Okwanku, right? Their tight end's pretty good.
Yeah,
so he could definitely be.
Yeah, he started for me last week.
He could definitely be a matchup problem for Jacksonville. To your point, which is they're shaky at best. So you make Jake Browning look like an All-Pro. So
I do think it depends on who starts here. I like the under in this game, especially if Beathard starts.
Yeah.
I think that the Titans will try to control the clock, and it's going to be a lot tighter game. So,
well, I guess the other side of it too. You're getting. We talked about this before the pod. You're getting Christian Kirk back and possibly Say Jones. So
it's setting up again. Check this line; it may tick up. So what's going to happen is if Lawrence does end up playing, even though he'll be hobbled and he has like a shoulder thing and whatever, he's still going to play great. I think he's going to play really well. So I would probably flip it. So if you like the under, take it now. If you like Tennessee, you can wait, right? Because you might get a better number.
Points, yeah.
But in the contest now, it's 3.5. Like if you like the Jags, take the 3.5. You find out about Lawrence because I think they're going to win the game. 3.5 might be. It's a pretty good number for them. I mean, it's a weird number, but
it's that damn hook,
Friggin' hook, bastards. All right, late games now. You've got Seattle at Arizona. Seattle's a 2.5 point favorite on the road. 47.5 point total. Seattle has to win and get some help. They need the Bears to beat Green Bay and all that. I see your pick there. I'm shocked. You're finally going away from your Kyler Murray love, who beat the Eagles on the road. I like the Arizona in this game. 2.5. Like, they've not been playing like crap. They've been playing pretty good. Yeah. Seattle's defense, I'm sorry. I told you them last week. They're letting the Steelers go for 469. Kyler's going to have a big game. So I like the dog here, plus the 2.5, and I like this total to go over 47.5. I don't think there's any defense on the field here.
Oh, really? All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, it's a lot like the Eagles game or the Steelers game like last week. I mean, it's just going to be a lot of scoring.
Yeah, I'm going the other way.
Okay.
I like Seattle here. I think Arizona had their Super Bowl last week, and I think just that emotional. Then to your point, they've been playing bad. Next year your fantasy sleeper is Trey McBride.
Trey McBride
is going to be. He's going to be a fantasy sleeper next year. He may carry you to a championship. Mark my words. But he's going to be really good next year. The Cardinals could be pretty frisky depending on who they get in the draft.
Frisky.
They could be. I think they could be pretty good. They get a couple pieces on defense.
Yeah.
They help.
Their defense got to get better.
They secure the offensive line a little bit. They could be a really good team. But I like Seattle here. They have to win. I think Geno was playing for his job, for his career.
I agree.
And I think that just the motivation. He's been in the league for 100 years now. But what's 12? But I think it's now or never for Geno. I mean, they got a nice complementary weapons. Arizona's defense is not very good, just to your point. So, if there's one thing that Seattle should be able to do, they should be able to throw the football on this team. So,
and what about James Conner? He's been playing good.
He has been playing very well. I like Seattle's defense here. I think Pete Carroll can figure something out. There's definitely a coaching mismatch between Pete Carroll and Gannon. And if the one team is, like I said, they're playing for their playoff lives. So,
of course.
I like the Sea Chickens here. I love them.
I mean, I know you're trying to get Ridgeway in your good graces. But you keep taking the Sea Chickens. Last week didn't work out. The week before, I think it did work out. So you're kind of playing 50-50. All right, let's go to the big game here. Real game. Bears-Packers. Okay. Huge game. Bears-Packers. Packers are 3-point favorites at home, 44-point total. We've talked about them getting healthier. It's not that I don't get the line. The line is exactly how I would make it per my metrics, but I've been watching both these teams quite a bit the last few weeks for a variety of reasons, fantasy, and obviously I love the Bears. Bears are a better football team. I don't unless they're going to get turnovers from Fields, which of course he can do. We've seen it many times, but you cannot. I can't see them laying this number here. I know that the Green Bay beat them in Week 1. Blah blah blah. Who cares? And Aaron Jones is back. I don't care. If they can stop the run now, they can rush with Montez Sweat. I think the Bears can win this game outright. So I would +3. That's on my top 5.
Nice. Yeah, I like where you're at. My head tells me to pick Chicago, but my heart tells me to pick Green Bay. So
I think stab you.
I think a full complementary of wide receivers is going to be the difference in this game. I don't think it's going to be the run game. I think the play action game is going to be the difference in this. Okay. They might get Aaron Jones involved early, but I think as the game progresses, Matt LaFleur is going to put the ball in Jordan Love's hands, and I think having a full stable of weapons, I think he will be able to cover. So. The weakness of the Bears is that secondary. A little bit, you saw it last week, a little bit of mobile quarterback with Taylor Heineke scored. So Jordan Love can move around the pocket. I think that might give the Bears a little bit of trouble.
Montez.
Yeah, right. So, and the motivation factor, obviously, I think it's equal on both sides because Chicago's they're still coaching for their jobs.
Yeah.
And everything else. And to your point, they've played a lot better. But I don't know. I just see Green Bay winning this game. They still, the curse of Aaron Rodgers. They still own.
The Bears do not win in
Chicago.
Lambeau. They do not win in Lambeau.
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, a couple of times when they knocked out Rodgers and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I don't know. The way I've been watching these games, I'm like, oh my god, the Bears could have been a playoff team. I mean, I think they're better.
But they're also beating really crappy quarterbacks.
Yeah, it could be.
They're taking it. Chicago's taking advantage of a lot of bad quarterbacks.
Jordan Love's in the middle.
No,
are you defending Jordan Love?
He's gotten a hell of a lot better.
Jordan
Love.
Love.
But he's at least grown and gotten better. Though.
He has. He's gotten better.
You dogged Jordan Love when he was bad, but now I can at least.
I was telling him he's playing good, and then obviously.
Yeah, he's definitely played better as the year progresses. Yeah. We'll see next year. We'll be able to get a true.
He's had a better year than Aaron Rodgers did last year.
Yeah,
is what they said, and Aaron Rodgers' first year. So. All right, so Denver at the Raiders. This is a nobody cares game, but the Raiders are a 3-point favorite at home, 38-point total. Antonio Pierce, he's got the vote of confidence of the players, but a lot of people are saying that they're going to bring in some sizzle from the outside as a coach. So I think the Raiders will play for him today or on Saturday or Sunday. So I know you like him. I don't know about putting it in my top 5, but I can understand why you take the Raiders -3.
Yeah, I think the one thing they've been doing really well they've been running the football well ever since they played the Chiefs on Christmas. They've been
run the football.
Zamir White has been a nice addition. Josh Jacobs has obviously been banged up, so no, I like AOC here. I like Devontae Adams. Actually, the one player you really need to watch out for is Jacoby Myers in this matchup, I believe. Okay. So I think he's the one that is going to have the big day. I like the Raiders by 4 or 5 here. I think they do cover. I like the over as well.
Okay, 38.
Yeah, I like the over here. And also
Denver's defense is very good.
No, and the Raiders defense, on the contrary, they've played better the last 5 or 6 weeks than they have in fucking 5 or 6 years.
Their defense has been good most of the year. There's only a couple games they got blown out. They played good all year. They keep guys, around that 25, they like 24 and below every single game. Very consistent.
Yeah, and I think Max Crosby could cause a lot of problems for Denver.
I love Max.
So
did he make the Pro Bowl?
Yes, he did.
He deserved it. All right, so we've got the Chiefs at the Chargers. Again, a meaningless game in the standings. The Chargers are 3.5-point favorites, 35-point total. Wow. I don't know what to say. I don't want to look at this game, like keep it out of my face, but as bad as the Chargers are, 3.5, come on, dude. Chiefs are pass. It's not a game I'm going to put on my card, but they're not going to rest the entire defense, right? I mean, the Chargers had the one good game against the Bills. The dead can't bounce, did a little dribble, in the second game, which we kind of expected, I suppose. But I wanted them to cover against the damn Broncos, but they couldn't do it. Couldn't score against that terrible defense. So this Chiefs defense, even if they play with, Chris Jones Chris Jones is going to play. If he gets one sack, he gets another $1 million or something. So
nice. At
least he gets a sack early. I like the Chiefs plus the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just on the sheer fact of the coaching mismatch, I'll take Andy Reid over.
We don't even know the guy's name.
Honestly,
this is 2 weeks in a row.
That's so sad. But anyway, he's an older fellow, if I remember correctly. He's been around the league for a little bit. Yeah, he's a lifer. But no, Andy Reid, and is Pacheco going to play? Because they could still run the football. The Chargers' defense has been really bad against the run when Bosa doesn't play. So, to your point, who's
the Chiefs' backup quarterback?
It used to be Chad Henne, but now it's Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, Blaine.
Yeah, it's Blaine Gabbert. Yeah, shout out Tom Brady. So.
Good hair. Good hair for Blaine.
Yeah, right.
Good hair.
But no, I like the Chiefs. I think they'll be able to run the ball. It's going to be a home game for them, even though they're playing in LA.
For sure. But
and Andy Reid owns the AFC West. He owns his division rivals. So
he does. But the Chargers typically cover in this matchup, but they just have no horses. They have no horses. So all right, so let's go Philadelphia at the Giants. Philadelphia's a 5-point favorite on the road, 42-point total. Philly still has a chance to win the NFC East if they get a win and Dallas does lose. So there is something to play for here. Otherwise, they're locked in the 5 seed if they win and Dallas wins. 5 points too much. Too many points. Can't do it. Philadelphia's defense can't stop anybody. I don't understand what's up. And Tyrod Taylor, assuming he's going to play for the Giants, has been capable. They should have beat the Rams last week. I told you, you got to be scary about Tyrod. Tyrod's the Ty God, as he was called. If he didn't get stabbed in the heart or wherever the hell he was, when he
lung puncture
with a stupid.
Well, that's the only reason why Herbert played, though.
I know, but I think the Giants, they don't know the season's over. It has been over for weeks. They don't care. They're going to play hard at home. 5 points, no thanks. I will take those points, sir. They're actually in my top 5. What do you know? Giants +5, just the top 5. They're not going to win the game.
I struggle with this one.
Yeah, of course you should.
I mean, because Philly has to get their shit together at some point, right?
but
to your point, they've been really bad on defense. Like they were the first play of the game that Arizona ran, they got like 25 yards literally because 2 linebackers went with the running back on the wrong side of the formation and just left the tight end completely uncovered in the flat, just like basic cover 3 stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, who can you trust? Like if the defense is going to play that bad, it doesn't matter who you play, right? You can play Zach Wilson, and he can figure that shit out.
Well, the other thing is there could be some scoreboard watching here. They look up. Dallas is up by 10,
21. Yeah,
10. They're like,
right.
Let's not try that hard.
That's fair. I mean, to your point too, I guess but I feel like with 2 teams like this, when they play 2 weeks apart, basically, the better team is eventually gonna. I'm with you. Giants +5. Giants +5.
Chopping that tree down.
Saquon Barkley is still going to they'll still be able to probably run the football. Again, I think to your point, they might scoreboard watch and take some of their guys out. So I'm with you. Giants +5. The Philadelphia probably will win. It'll be another 3-point game like it was. But, now that we all say that, take Philly. So.
All right, so Rams at San Francisco. San Francisco 4-point favorite at home, 41-point total. We've talked about it. It's the Wentz-Darnold matchup that we all wanted.
Yes.
I don't know.
I waited 18 weeks for
18 weeks
I can't believe they didn't give it to us sooner.
I mean,
I'm all right.
It's a tough one. I like San Francisco minus the 4. They're not in my top 5. I just think they're overall a better team. If you don't Stafford in the game, I know that what's his name, McVay can really scheme things up and all that stuff, but San Francisco can run the ball on this team, and 4 points sucks, but so it's not my top 5. But I would lean to San Francisco on this one.
No, I mean just for the sheer fact that the defenses. That's definitely to your point. I think that's the big difference. And Sam Darnold didn't look bad in relief when he came in either.
He's not bad.
I definitely have more confidence in Sam Darnold than I do Carson Wentz.
He's a ginger.
Yeah, right.
They're kind of ginger.
Well, I'm going to say they're both ginger. Yeah, it's a ginger off.
Ginger battle. Gingerbread battle.
Right. That too. But no, I think to your point, San Fran, they're just more physical. I doubt Trent. That's the other problem though too. Is Trent Williams, when he doesn't play, this offensive line looks average at best, and that's
how is one guy? There's 4 other guys there.
That doesn't make any sense to me either. Especially when he plays. Well, left tackle is the most important position. So
you know that the Blind Side. You ever seen that movie?
Oh yeah. It just shows that kidnapping can be profitable. The Blind Side. So, but no, I'm with you. I'll ride with San Fran. I think that's a perfect number. Honestly, I hate it. The more I look at it, the more I hate it. So, well, and you got to remember our rule. The division games, anything over 3, we like to take that dog. But
is that like? Does that count in week 18 though?
Yeah, I know with backup quarterbacks. Yeah, it's hard to say, but this is that's a perfect push. It's a perfect coaching matchup.
It's not in the top 5. That's
no,
why
it's
kind of like move it over there. You got to make a pick. You got to pick all the games against the spread, like Jimmy Wegs. I'm 2 back now. I got to make some moves. I got to make my picks. That's not in my top picks, but I will pick that game.
Yeah.
All right. So Dallas and Washington is the last game of the afternoon. Dallas is a hearty 13-point favorite on the road, 46-point total. Well, I mean, Washington. God, this team. What a disappointment. I mean, we know Riverboat Ron. I said before the season I knew he was going to go, and I like Ron Rivera as a guy, but he can't do it anymore. They are going to play, I think they're going to play Sam Howell. They're not going to play Brissett, who gave him a good chance in some of these games. It just depends how hard Dallas can play. 13 is a big number, so I'm not definitely picking in a contest play, but I would lay the number with Dallas. Even though on the road, they don't score as many points, but Washington, yikes.
Yeah.
I can't watch that team. They couldn't do it last week at home against San Francisco, cover like the same number, and they're rated pretty similar to me.
Yeah. Well, and you got to remember, too, Washington gives up the most big plays in the NFL on defense. And CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb has been a big play machine. And Tony Pollard has been invisible. So
can he pass your guy? Can he pass Tyreek or no?
I don't know. Maybe.
You'd have to have another 200-yard game.
Yeah, so I highly doubt. If they got up, I feel like by 21 or something, they won't play him anymore. But
like Jaden Reed.
Yeah, right. But I think 13 is too many. Dallas has been very suspect on the road. The only saving grace for taking Dallas is I think you need a Tony Pollard game, and he's been completely invisible the whole season. So
he could be here right now. We can't see him.
We have no idea.
He could be right here.
Yeah, that creek that over there could have been Tony Pollard. Maybe he's the ghost of Tony Pollard.
That's right.
But I like Washington here. Just I think 13 is too many.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's just I like the under too. I don't think this is going to be a very high scoring game.
Yeah, and if you do, that's a good play with the dog. All right, last game, Sunday Night Football, Buffalo at Miami. Buffalo's a 3-point favorite on the road. Miami opened as a 1.5-point favorite, and then it flipped pretty quickly when they opened the windows up. So 49.5-point total. Oh, look, I love this game. Of course, I loved when they were getting points with Buffalo. 3 points. I still like Buffalo. I think they're going to win the game. I think they're going to win this game. It's kind of a push number at 3, but traditionally when Buffalo plays in these bigger games, they come to play and make it happen, and Miami does not. So I'm rooting for your team in a way. I don't want to see them get housed again against a good team, but you gotta, when you pick with the points, when you pick with your money, you got to pick Buffalo -3 here.
They're gonna get housed.
The Miami.
Josh Allen owns
the
Dolphin. Yeah, I'm really Dolph out. Honestly, I'm to the point where I'm so Dolph out that I hope that we trade up to get Penix, and then Tua just walks in free agency.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because I think Penix is a bigger, stronger version of Tua.
Yeah.
And to have a rookie quarterback in that offense, they could re-sign Jalen Waddle. They could get more offensive line help. Obviously, the defense is just in complete shambles. The best pass rushers are hurt with Chapman. I think that's going to be the big difference. There's going to be no one there to get Josh Allen.
Okay. They did win 11 games. They had a pretty good
They
year.
didn't beat anybody.
Well, so you're on Buffalo -3.
Oh, yeah. Buffalo's going to win by 10 or more.
Okay. What about the total? 49.5.
I would take the under.
Under.
I don't think Miami's going to score more than 17.
Oh, okay.
So they have a hard time scoring points against good defenses. Like Baltimore,
Right.
Philadelphia. When the Philadelphia's not even that good of a defense. Yeah, the Chiefs. I don't see them scoring more than 20, and I think that's going to be a big issue because Josh Allen's probably going to score 35 or more. So, And plus, is it going to be really funny? Let me ask you this: what's going to be really funny is if Josh Allen wins the MVP, but he's not a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I don't think he'll win, but if
he goes
Here's
off.
a question though. I heard, and I know it's true. I didn't do this in my scenario. Sorry if you read Wegs pool. I was wrong. Buffalo technically can miss the playoffs.
Yeah, if they lose. Yeah.
They lose, and that some things have to happen.
Yeah.
But, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's because of all those crappy
AFC
they lost
losses.
to the Broncos and stuff like that,
Yep.
So, and
they don't have
the
any of
Jags.
the AFC tiebreakers. That's their
Jags.
AFC record is 2-6 or 3-6 or something like that. Yeah.
So they really need this game. That's the other factor. Well, let's go over my top 5. I just mentioned Buffalo -3, like the Bears +3, Houston -1.5. I will go with New Orleans -3.5. Feel a little squeamish about it. And then the Giants +5. Those are my top 5. What about your Beaver Nation final week?
Yeah, final week of Beaver Nation. We're doing Tampa Bay -4.5. We are taking Raiders at -3.
The Raiders.
We're taking Seattle at -2.5, and we are taking Detroit at -3.5. And
nice.
I was updating my record, so we're 44, 33-3 with our NFL picks. So
that's good.
Nowhere near as good as we are in college.
Well, no, but you've improved quite a bit. You were about 500 maybe 6 weeks ago, so you closed.
So we've been coming up. Yeah, we've been arriving.
You've been arriving.
Yeah, for sure.
So obviously, he's already alluded to it. Saturday. The big game night, Jimmy Wegs. I'm already 50, but we're going to celebrate it that day. Big game night, big crowd, 4 shadows. Be there, be square. You have your chance to, act stupid and fun. And Jimmy Wegs is picking up some drinks. Yeah, it's responsibly. Just don't puke on the bar. It's bad
don't
luck.
Break anything.
Other than that, have a great time. I'm looking forward to it. Not playing volleyball this week because I got the last minute preps. I got to do some stuff tomorrow, and I'm going to the Bulls game tomorrow too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Nicole, she wants me to go for some stupid reason, so I guess she's taking me for my birthday.
Nice.
It's nice of her.
Which Nicole?
You know.
Okay, nice. Hell yeah.
Your sister.
So we're going
Your sister, right?
Okay, right. Well, she got you Bulls tickets?
Well, it's like another volleyball guy's birthday, which I wasn't invited to. But she's like, "Do you want to go with me?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." I'm like, "What do you need for the ticket?" She's like, "I'll pay for your birthday." I'm like, "Okay, great."
Wow, I can't believe she.
Because Colin can't go.
Yeah, I'll have to give her a word.
Stand-in.
Yeah, apparently.
So anyway, that's
you're
what
the
I'm
expensive man's version of Colin. Yeah,
and then on Sunday I'll be watching football.
Yeah, well, without going to the Blackhawks game on Sunday, they play at 2:00. So we debated on that for. I guess tonight they're doing Papa Moon's birthday. So I forgot to mention that.
I didn't know when's Papa Moon's birthday.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
Well, I invited him to the party too. He said, "I don't know." I'm like, "Come on."
Yeah, you know.
I'll put him on the cake.
Yeah,
we can put Papa Moon on the cake.
This is what I've gathered about Papa Moon the last couple of days. So when I stayed at Steph's, I stayed there Friday night, and I stayed there Sunday night.
Yeah.
So I sleep on the couch and don't sleep on the Murphy bed because what I think the couch is comfier.
Sure.
But the first thing he does whenever he comes down the stairs in the morning, he comes in and opens the blinds, and then he leaves with the dog, and I always wake up with the sun in my and then I'm just like in my mind I'm like, why don't you just take the dog for a walk and then come back and open the blinds?
What's like the blinds?
Why open the blinds for no one? That's been I've been trying to figure out how this man operates for a couple of days now.
He's been at it quite a while.
I'm still struggling. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still struggling, but
Well, happy birthday, Papa Moon.
Yeah, they're in Olive Garden right now.
The Olive Garden.
Yeah, that's where he wanted to go.
Well, the breadsticks.
Oh well, Steph was appalled that he didn't pick Tango Sir because that's normally where he wants to go.
Oh, really?
Tango Sir, yeah.
Maybe that's why she was asking about the pod. Were you supposed to go?
Yeah, she was asking what time we're doing.
Sorry, man.
No, that's okay. At Olive Garden, it's okay. I didn't want to go to Olive Garden. We just had chicken. Caesar made chicken parm like a week ago, and it was so fire.
He's a good cook.
And just the expectation of that versus probably the chicken parm that I'd get served, it wouldn't be the same. Okay. It wouldn't be the same. So, and there's already a dozen of them. So
when do you, just for our listeners, besides the weekend activities, we should wrap up here. When do you have to? You said you're doing something. Your class or something. We have to change the schedule at some point, or no? We can do this off the air.
Yeah, we're doing. Well, that's not until April. But I'll be going to media school starting in April.
Media school. Yeah.
So Monday, Tuesday.
This is your training ground.
Yeah. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be doing that in May. So
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. No, we'll definitely. Don't worry. We will be here for you guys. You guys are the Flesh and Bloodlines podcast. All five.
And then
the
other big announcement is I am going to Gulfport now. I
Woo!
booked the ticket. I got worn down over time. I got peer pressured. I got an $11 flight because of my miles, so boom, we will tape in Gulfport.
Awesome.
I know you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Heck yeah, we'll be sitting on the beach, maybe having a Mai Tai or something. Sure. I don't know.
For some, at least a fish taco.
A fish taco, yeah.
All right, well, follow me at Wegspool on Twitter and on Instagram, and follow us at Side Action Pod on Twitter and Side Action Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, the Wegs Pod. That's the name of this podcast. We're going to change it.
That's the name.
And you can check me out on Instagram at Dalton Cooper, on Twitter at Mr. Grumpy Gills. He got me talking all over myself. We are the Side Action Pod. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Until next week. What do we got from next week? We just got some playoffs. Black Monday. We got Black Monday too. So,
all right, guys.
Love you guys.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Side Action Podcast. We appreciate all of your listens and thank you for joining us. We'll see you all again next week on Thursday for some more hot picks and side action. Side Action Podcast, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the show hosts or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of this podcast, and opinions between talk show hosts may conflict. Individuals following the advice given on the podcast accept their own risk of losses from wagers made, as the Side Action Podcast, its owners, hosts, associates, or guests will not guarantee any advice given. The opinions and advice given on the Side Action Podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Intro and outro and transition music credits Song titles Jerry 5 and District 4 by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.org. Licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0. creativecommons.org/licenses/by 3.0.